All right, welcome to our Monday night training. I love that you all show up on a Monday night for yourself, learning, ready to go, notebook and pens. Let's do this. So, tonight's topic is going to be on social media, and this is a really big topic. I also just want to start that this is like no one size fits all. So, really be open-minded with this. And I encourage you, if you have questions, put them in the chat, and I'll answer them at the end so we can kind of like have like a little conversation around it too, because yeah, social media is like a huge topic. It's not just like a do this and it's done. Like it's always an evolving thing. Um, but one thing I encourage you to do is like social media, look at it like something like you get to do it. Like it's something that it's part of your business. It's social media. Look at whatever your main hub is. So for me, it's Instagram. Some people might be on TikTok, Facebook, like whatever it is. Like just choose something that feels natural to you and get on there and look at it like it's your business page. So if you want to separate accounts, you can do that. Um, if you look at, I'll just use my Instagram as an example. And also, I just want to note that I'm always learning and growing and evolving with it as well. So it's not like what I do now it might be so different in 6 months' time. But you like the way I do my business is like, sorry, the way I do my Instagram is I look at it like it's my business page. So if you went to someone else's business, what would you want to see versus what would you not want to see? Um, and so if you can just have that in like the back of your mind or the front of your mind really, and just when you're going on post there, like everything you post kind of has to have like really does have to have like something to do with your business, something to do with you, something to do with your brand. Now, you are your brand. Okay, so Pearl is your brand, Emma, you're your brand, Amy, you're your own brand. Like that's what sets us apart because we all sell a greens powder. We all sell the same makeup. We've all got the same products, okay? So what sets you apart from someone else is them connecting to you. And how we do that is consistently showing up online. And I love to speak about consistently showing up online in three, maybe four different pillars. So this is something you can definitely take a note on is like, what are your three pillars? And if you look at mine are like a lot about like my kids and family. And then I generally have a lot of fitness and health in there. Excuse me. And then my other one's business. And like there's some stuff in between that kind of blurs into it. But Arbonne, like it kind of naturally flows into the health and wellness side of me. And then also like with my kids, the business kind of flows into that because I've created this lifestyle where I can grow my business and be a present mum. And so it's like thinking like, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you do every day? Um, and it's really like I know Kayla on here, she rides horses. Actually, Kayla and Amy, you both do horses, but like that's something where you could like integrate that into you and like really attract people who like you. So then when you're consistently showing up online, people get to know, like, and trust you. And then and then when they go to either work with you as a consultant or buy from you with the products, it's like they already know who you are and they know they want to either work with you or they know they want to buy from you because they've seen like they see you're into horses or they see you've got young kids just like them or like whatever it is, like they can have that relatability. So the relatability, geez, that is really comes down to being consistent and really just like being your authentic self. Actually, I want you to underline that authentic self. Be authentically you. Like stick it up on your fridge. Do like the most traction I ever get is stuff that like I've done so messy that I had like I'm like, oh, I shouldn't post that, but I just did it anyway. And it gets the most traction because people just love when you're relatable. They just love it when you're doing like I put this something on my Instagram today where I was like, I got my husband to take this video of me working on my phone on my bed, and he honestly took it like 6 months ago, but I like found it as I was scrolling through for something else. So I posted it up there, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, I did my best work on my bed as well." I'm like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't even. I was like, that was a second thought to even post that today, but it just shows that like that real casual, mundane stuff is like everyone just loves it because they're like, oh, you're just like me. Oh, maybe I can do that business, you know? Like, um, Yeah, so if you're consistently showing up, posting around similar things that like show who you are, that make you relatable, like they're going to come onto your page and just want to keep following you. They want to keep showing because you're being consistent. So then it comes down to like what are you going to post? Okay. And the thing is, it's like it's somewhere in your messaging, like is just being really clear on what you're promoting, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's your Green Gut Glow, whether it's a business, whether it's the mind health, but like a focus drink, like how are you really promoting that? And treat every post as if you're finding, you could probably write this down. Treat every post as if you're finding, as if someone new is finding you. So, like if it's like your first eyes on it. And if you feel like you're repeating the same stuff over and over, you're on the right track because, and it feels so mundane and boring. Like a good example is I always look at like your Green Gut Glow. Say if you have your Green Gut Glow every morning. It's like I look at it like a brick and mortar, like that's their open sign. So like I don't always say, "Hey, buy my Green Gut Glow." Like sometimes, like this morning, I've got a picture of me today taking a selfie, and it's just in the background. But there's generally like always me having my Green Gut Glow somewhere in around my page. And it's almost like it's like I look at it like, oh, my door's open for business. Like people know that I have like it's part of my health and well-being. They know what it is. And eventually they're going to get to a point, but like, what the hell is that greens drink? What does she keep drinking? What does she keep talking about, you know? Um, where was I? I am like going off notes, but I also don't go off notes. Where was I? Um, yeah, so if you want to have content where they're like it's giving value, but it's also where they come in like if they're finding you and if it's as if they are finding you for the first time on your Instagram. So they really want to like almost get to know you. They want to like be a bit nosy. They want to get some value from it. Value is the biggest thing. Underline that too. Highlighter, value. Be authentic and give value. People will love you for that. Um, and you actually are, what you're doing is you're building this community online. Your followers doesn't necessarily mean like you don't need a lot of followers to equal a big business. Like a lot of it is actually to do with what the way we talk to people, like in person. Yes, think how we can serve your followers. How can you give them value? And it doesn't have to just be on a greens drink. It could be on I don't know, value. Yeah. This is everyone following my Instagram about my absolute botch shoulder? I got a mole removed. Anyway, it was like the value from that was me saying, "Hey guys, remember to get your moles checked because I'm like 34 and I've got some dodgy mole on my shoulder, you know? Like it's like the most simple things you can do. Um, Also turns out I'm very allergic to plasters, so ripped my whole skin off. But anyway, that's another story. Um, that's also why I'm like this with everything I'm wearing at the moment because I can't put anything on it. Um, 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 where was I going with this? Because I did have my train of thoughts. Health tips. Yes, health tips, energy hacks, anything that's going to be of value. Um, so yeah, and oh, building the community. So what happens is every time you're posting, you're kind of putting yourself out there. The best way, this is definitely something like specific to Instagram, but the best way to get yourself out and into new followers is doing reels. Because reels come up onto what you call your For You page or FYP, if you've ever seen that. It's basically where like if you click on something like if everyone opens up their phone right now, if you're on the laptop, if on your phone, whatever, go for it. But if you go to Instagram and you've got on, I don't know who that is on my Instagram, but you can't see with my light. But you see how we got the home page, and then there's this next one across. It should be second from the left. And then there's like real, oh no, wait, is that it? Oh no, the search page. There's a search page there, and like you probably have, I don't even know what I've got going on here. Basically, you want to click on stuff like you can change it. So your search page. if you want to just see like really motivating, big, inspiring homes, or if you want to see like really rich women that you aspire to be like, or if you want to see whatever, you can start searching those up on your Instagram and your feed will start pulling more out, pulling more of that content out for your page. So another example, if you really want to be on this really big health journey, you can start searching like fitness people and then you'll start clicking on them and start liking some of the reels. And then those people will start showing up more, more, more. Oh my God, I've just clicked on one and it's got 444,000 views. Like, do you guys know much about angel numbers, like those synchronicities? No. Um, and so that side note, but like that, what that is that like it's kind of like, you know how we talk about your circle is so important, what we feed our minds, who we talk to, who we're around. Like honestly, one negative person in your life can honestly bring you down so much. And that's why this group and like being around people and especially in an Arbonne business is so critical because we are the ones who like pull you up, who like drive your mindset, who like, grow and expand you. But if you have one negative Nancy in your life, like they will, and then you tie that in with like kids being chaotic and something shitty happening in the workplace, like they can just like dull all your light. So this is same as Instagram, but like really be specific with who you're following and what you're taking in. Um, I reckon every 3 or 4 months I'll go with a big cull on my Instagram. Like I might follow people, and then all of a sudden I'm in a different phase of life. Like I don't follow many newborn accounts anymore because my kids aren't newborn, but like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, like that was all I was watching. And so like you can write that down as a note, as like just do a social media audit. Like who are you following? Do they inspire you? If not, cut them. Like just be blunt with them. Like if you've got your big, big, serious boss girl goals, you want to be following people who you inspire to be or whatever you want out of life. There's also another hack where you can mute people on social media. So if you go to anyone's profile, you can click on the following button. This is if you follow them. This is like, say, if you don't want your auntie or your nana or someone to see you, but you don't want to unfollow them because then that's awkward. You can go to like the following button and then you can press mute. Okay, I want to show you this. So can you see? There's this mute button right there. Have a play with it, but then you basically just turn on all the toggles. Yeah, I'm not very good doing, just do them all. And then they just won't show up, but you're still following them. So Auntie Susan doesn't get her feelings offended, but then you don't just feel like you have to um, watch her complain about all the news or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Does that mean they can't see? No, they can still see you. It just means we can't see them. So it
Oh
means
yeah.
they're less likely to show up in your stories or on your feed. Yeah, it's a really best hack ever. Um, honestly, I actually do it with a lot of people that I like get inspired by, but sometimes I can find them distracting. Like, and that's actually like a lot of people at Arbonne. Like I follow all like everyone on here and like the team, but there are some people that I just like, this person's doing that, this person's doing that, this person's doing that, or maybe I should do that way. Like you get kind of like distracted, and like the more you just focus in on like being authentically you, you'll show up as you. And like one thing I have been trying so hard with, and I feel like I've taken almost 4 years to crack this, is like I really want to come across my social media without posting like Arbonne products on my stories. And I'm telling you, this has taken like almost 4 years. I'm still not perfect at it, but it's like, how can I create a message to help people without like putting all the sales on? Because we always have lots of sales, right? Which is so good because our clients love it. They get extra discounts, they get flash buy bundles where like they're always getting good stuff. But it's like to a point where like I don't want a random person to come on my page and always just see that. So it's honestly, it's taken me almost 4 years to figure it out. And I wouldn't say like if you're newish on here, like just do whatever feels good because it's like that still to this day I've been doing stuff like that and I've grown so much. But it's like it's just like that's like a personal goal of mine is to really like I do spend a lot of time on social media and I do like research and I do like listen to podcasts about it. So you can still do stuff like that to really figure out like how to find your way of getting your message across. Um, okay, so one thing I want to talk on before I do like a bit of a Q&A is that um, okay, your best person you want to talk to is the person who you once were. And this is really good to tie into like say your 60-second story. If you haven't curated your 60-second story, go to like the start here part of our boards app. But your 60-second story is basically like where you were, what you were struggling with, how Arbonne's come in to help you and where it's taking you, or how it's helped you to get to where you are. So for me, for example, I used to have a six-figure group fitness business that was like my identity. I loved it. Then I became a mum and I realized that I couldn't put those hours into that business and I no longer wanted to work those hours. So then I found Arbonne and I realized this was the vehicle that I could work the hours in and around my kids, but also earn an uncapped income. And now I'm a stay-at-home mum. Like do you see the journey there? So for me to speak to is like those new mums. Like that really is my niche, like a driven businesswoman with young kids at home. And then you can start. So if you just write that down, like find your niche, and your niche is it is always changing because you're always evolving, which is the cool thing. Like we got to really go. That's why I say you got to be flexible with social media. But if you figure out like who were you even like 3 months ago if you're super new, um, who were you a year ago? And that person is who you can talk to and like really talk to because you were in their shoes. You had their feelings, you had their thoughts, you dressed like them, you kind of you had people talking about like the people who they're probably surrounded by very similar, maybe where they shop. You can really start to talk through your social media like that. So like, for example, if you were say I've got my green gut glow and I've got like a picture and I take a picture like this, whatever. And I said, oh my gosh, this is the drink I have been having um for 5 years and it's helped me like get over all my iron issues. I used to like take and I can say stuff like I used to take iron tablets, but I used to hate taking them because I would get blocked up and then I didn't want to take the iron tablets because then I blocked up and I had this like ever rounding problem of having low iron. And then someone like watching in, they're like, that is exactly what I'm like, which is a lot of women, low in iron because we get our menstrual cycle. But then you might need iron tablets, but then they block you up. So you don't want to take the iron tablets, so then you're low on iron. Like it's this cycle. And honestly, that's a true story of mine. I have like always had very low iron to the point where like my face looks grey and like it's like just blur. And now I don't. I'm just like so good. Even throughout both my pregnancies, I was very good on iron, which is surprising for Jackson because I only started these products when I was like 8 or 9 weeks with him. And I wasn't super consistent on the first pregnancy. So it just shows how good these are. And they do boost your iron because they've got high vitamin C in the collagen builder. And then you've got like all the green leafy veggies from the greens powder, which is usually high in iron. And then you've got the gut health, which helps you absorb it. So it's got all these things helping you. And I'm only just talking about iron problems here. Like, how many other things can this fix? So this is what I mean by like, who is that person? And like, you could even then go even further with that example and say like, I know you're like a busy working mom and you like looking after your fitness and you want to, be driven with your business, but you always get that 2 o'clock crash or you feel like you're running on empty even after a good night. Even after a good night's sleep, you're still feeling tired. Like you can really like hone in on how they're feeling or how they were feeling. So that's definitely some homework is like actually carve out time to think about who that person was that you once were, what were their problems, and then you can really start to talk to them. And then like it's almost like you're giving them a solution without like a hard sale, if that makes sense. And this takes time, guys. Like there's honestly, like no one's ever perfect on social media. And if you listen to, I love listening to the In Charge podcast, which is Emma Fowler and Madeline Storis. They are in Australia, they're like 27, 28 years old, but they just have they like love their social media. But they say every single time on the podcast that they like are always second guessing what they're doing. They feel like they're never doing good enough. So it's like in our human nature to be always like wanting to improve. So even if you look at someone you really look up to their Instagram, like that person on Instagram is probably still looking up to someone else and like so on and so on, always trying to looking to improve. I just want to look at my notes and see if I missed something because, oh, the biggest thing, yeah, the biggest thing, and then I'll open up for questions. I fully believe that you don't need to post like 4 times a day. And why I say this is that if you come from a place of like, oh, I need to post another one, people can feel it through the messaging when they're just like, or if you've copied and pasted from ChatGPT. Honestly, I love ChatGPT or GTP, whatever around. I love it, but like you can tell a post from ChatGPT versus like your authentic self. And I just really encourage you, like ChatGPT is so, I'm telling you, I use it all the time. It is so helpful. Like when you're looking at flights to Vegas, perfect. When you're doing other stuff, like it really is helpful. But I encourage you to really create posts from the heart, and that takes time. And that's what I mean by like, if you can post when you really feel good, post it. If something comes up in your mind, post it. But if you come from a place where it's 9 o'clock at night, you're like, fuck, I haven't posted for my fourth time today. Like people are going to feel that energy and they're going to feel that like she's just put that out. And it's probably not going to have the value you want. It's probably just going to be um, just another thing they'll swipe over. And then you've wasted 30 to 40 minutes trying to think about this and where you could have been sleeping and feeling good for the next day. Um, so that's a really big tip I have, just like really be in tune with your body. So like that goes with like if I just recap that, it's like that's what I mean by like your circle, who are you hanging out with, they affect your energy. Your social media, who are you following, they affect your energy. Um, Eating and drinking, that affects your energy. Are you fueling yourself right? And then like social media, it's exactly the same. Like if we show up with the best intentions. We're not following all these people who distract us. Like we get our message across from the heart and people love, and that's when they really connect with you. And that's when you really, 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 you have the right consultants and the right customers coming to you that you already get along with, because of everything you've created online. So do you guys have any questions that you might have come up with or anything? I'm just going to go through my notes as you're thinking about it.
I'll just jump in here while you guys are thinking, and feel free to butt in. But I was just going to say with we like just like what you've said, Em, with content, like honestly, sometimes you will find where you've just got a little bit of space and something comes to you and you're like, oh, I really want to do that. I do whenever I've got a bit of content. So, likes of when I go for a run, right? I will take a few different videos, like just I'm literally running the whole entire time, and I pull my phone out and I take a little video and I put it back in, and 10 minutes later down the run, I do another one. And I just do that just so that I've got content. And then when I get finish my run, I quickly pop those into reels. So I just pop them straight into reels and put them as drafts so that they're there where I've got a little bit of content that are easy to find. That in my drafts. I can edit them, I can do whatever, but they're there, right? And then when I have those moments where you're like, oh, I really want to say that I've got something in my mind that I'm like, oh, I love that. I really want to share that. I've then got a good video to put alongside that.
Hmm.
And often I find once you get into that zone of like, okay, coming up with content or what you want to say, something else will pop into your mind as well. And you're like, this is great. And either writing it down in your notes or popping it onto the reel. So often what I'll do is I'll do a couple of things where a couple of things have just come to me, pop those onto those reels, edit them, save them in my drafts so that any days that I'm flat or not feeling it or don't have content or rushed off my feet or whatever it might be, I've got it there. And it's great and it's good content and it's helpful and it's adding value to people's lives. And it's there. And that just enables you to have that consistency. Like one of my biggest goals this year was being able to post a reel every single day, right? And not just a dumb reel, but something that I felt added value to people. And this has been the way that I've been able to do it, is that not necessarily batch producing things. It comes very randomly, but I know that every week I've got at least 3 or 4 different things that are in my drafts, in my reels. So on the days that I haven't got time to create content, I can whip that out. I've got something great and it's there. Do you know what I mean? So that's always good as well when you're feeling it, because as much as I'm a firm believer we are not our feelings, when we are in that zone of coming up with something, it's like when you get on the blitzing sessions and you're in a zone and you're blitzing and you're like, okay, yep, great, finish that. And I'm just going to carry on because I'm just in the zone and I'm feeling it. And you do those extra things and you go that extra mile. It really does serve you and your business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely a good point. And
Yeah.
also, like, just to add on that, any content you take, you don't have to post right then and there. Like,
Mm,
you can post content, leave it, and then post it later. That way, you can still be
yeah.
present with your kids. You can still do
Yeah.
your horse riding. You can still do whatever you're doing, and then you can do it later. So it's got a bit of balance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good one. How's everyone going? Has anyone got questions? No.
I'll just
Okay.
I'll just do one more point before you go because I just realized there's one I missed. Every time you get like someone like your post or comment, be like, oh my God, yes, that person likes my post.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on, oh my God, only one person liked my post. Do you know what I mean? Like there's such a difference. Like imagine if 10 people liked your post. If you put 10 people in the room, you're like, holy crap, I've got a crowd, and you've got, so if you really just start focusing like what you have got versus rather than focusing on like, oh, I'm not quite there, like I haven't got the followers and I haven't got that, like you actually focus on what you have got and it's like the same thing as like if you can focus on gratitude daily and like what you have in your life. It's the same as social media. Focus on like the following you do have and like that can like if you've got 200 people, put that in perspective of people. Like actual people in a
That's a
room.
lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be grateful for every person you have. Um, if questions come up after this, just pop them in the group chat and I will send voice notes or just reply in the group chat. But yeah, thanks for coming on tonight and we can jump on to the next training. She's had an incredible transformation, so this is a really good one to jump on for the health side of the business as well. Have a good night,
Awesome. You're amazing, Em.
everyone.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you,
Mwah.
everyone. Bye.